Hi, this is Big Mama, and I am wanting to show you a flip through of this journal that I just finished for the Dear Julie November Challenge. And this is November 2024. And the name of the challenge is November One Two Junk Journal Challenge. And what Julie has done is she's given us two lists, and on list one, we were to make a page element, and then for us to do an embellishment using, like if it is music paper, then we have a page with music paper, and then we would have the embellishment with music paper. So what I want to do is show you, first of all, this is the journal. I took an old book and I used a lot of my different sprays and wanted it to look really, I'll put the camera, the light I meant. I'm trying my best to work on lighting. And so anyway, I haven't figured it out yet, can you tell? But I wanted this to kind of look celestial, so it's got a lot of shimmer in it and sparkle. So I hope that you could see that when I put it up to the light. And then on the front, I had this beautiful decoupage paper that had these angels playing music, and I put the lace on it. And so brought out the different colors that I wanted to bring out for the digital that I'm using. And I had this antique button that had that beautiful sparkle in it. It is not glass, it is a polished metal. And then I put the two eyelets back here, ran the ribbon up through, made my bow, and then sewed the bow together. And then all you have to do is pinch your journal together and then pop this off, and that stays tied so that you don't have to keep trying to figure out how to make the bow. And it's got a lot of give to it so that when you put other things in here, it'll still stretch for you a little bit. Okay, so the digital I want to show you first before we dip into there. The digital that I used of Julie's, I used a couple of them. And the most predominant one is her brand new digital that is called Black and White. And the reason why I had the blue in my journal is because I saw these grayish blue areas, like a military blue, and thought that that was pretty beautiful. And then I don't have all the pages because they're in the book. And that I do have like this, black and white. Then she had the plaid. And here are the wallet size pieces. And then this would be wonderful to make a zine. So as you can see, there are some beautiful pieces in here. She has the music paper, and then with another digital that I had was the Antique Angels, and this was from last year that she had, and so I printed that out on vellum and used a lot of vellum pieces then in the journal. So these are the ones I didn't use, but I used a lot of this because it went with the black and white here, and so used these pieces as well in the journal. I printed this one on vellum. So those were the pieces that I've used. Also, she had another digital that she did for the Patreons, and so I used this in there, printed this on tissue paper. It turned out beautiful on tissue paper. So when I say tissue paper, okay, I've got some onion skin paper that is got that old feel to it of tissue paper, and that's what I mean that I printed on. So those are the pieces for that. I also printed out some of this, which I thought was excellent. So, with telling you all about those digitals, now I will show you what I did inside the journal. Her Liz, she wanted us to use numbers, oval, sewing pattern, educational pages, maps, some broken jewelry or beads, encyclopedia or dictionary page, and ribbon. Those were to use one of, and now I've lost my other page for the other list. It wouldn't be a good a good video if I didn't make mistakes. Use notebook paper, book pages, vellum, rice paper, parchment, embossed paper, music, brown paper or bag, envelopes, and rolled paper. And my rolled paper that I used was the wax paper from the kitchen that I tea dyed and used. So without further ado, let me show you the inside. I used some material, and after I sewed the button on, then I put the front here and took the material and put it over a cereal box. This I printed on here twice. I printed 2 pieces of vellum, and the reason why I did that is because I wanted to do a slotted pocket here, and so I put a piece behind it to fit across that pocket, but I wanted it to be the same paper so that the words all lined up. And then when I printed it out again on regular paper, I have it in here to where all the words then line up behind each other. And then this is the digital, and I printed on the back side of the digital, and I had a lot of rub-on stickers, and so I did randomly with a rub-on sticker on there, but I also printed just book page lines on there. Then the composition page. I had several pieces that I coffee dyed, but when I put the paper in, it is not wide enough to go double. So it's only 8.5 inches wide. So I've got 5 inches, which is my book page, but then I've got this extra section here that I'm going to use. So I cut off the holes for the notebook, and so this is the edge. I coffee dyed it, and then afterwards I went and inked with the different types of inks on here to grunge it up. And then I also glued the page with another piece of paper. So this is a book page insert that I glued, and then I have the washi tape that I trimmed out here, finishing out that whole page so that you have a place to write. So this is the part of the book page that is, the other half is in the signature. And then I have some of this paper that we used to use when we were typing, and it has the word copy on it, and so that would be your piece of paper that you would have had, that you would have put in the file, that the copy of the letter. And then I have the onion skin paper that I have here, and this was actually in the very back of a ledger that I had, and so I left it whole like that. And then the educational book that I had is teaching us how to send out telegrams and dictionary words to make sure that we don't send the wrong words in a telegram. So in case you guys are still sending out telegrams, these are important pieces. So it's the introduction to the book, and then I backed it with some of the parchment, and I used the Heat and Bond Light to strengthen that page because the page is a little bit on the tender side. And then I also used washi in the seam so that it wouldn't break down. Then here I edged this with a scrap of napkin, made a belly band here using a window envelope, made a little scrappy notebook and stenciled on the back of the notebook. And these are all just scraps of paper that I had. And this is that wax paper that I told you. This is just your kitchen wax paper. And what I did was I put it down in my coffee and left it. And it wicked out to the edge. And then I came upstairs and ran the iron over it because it's all wrinkled up, and pressed out that, and then added some antique lace over the top. And then my belly band, I used a envelope that's a junk mail envelope, and then also made this little pocket here in the top that I have a journaling card in. And so when I made this into the belly band, I went ahead and glued the picture into the inside of it so it is stationary in there. And this page has that wax paper is here. And when I put the wax paper on here, I use that Heat and Bond light again to keep it on there. So that is, this paper is right there. And so that strengthens that old page. And here again is the ledger. And these are the back pieces. And this is what I was talking about. On that old paper, I have a box of this old paper that has the word copy on it. And I used a lot of the rub-ons in here to just create some interest on the pages. And so this is the last page of the signature. And because I brought the vellum is all the way around as a folio, this is a Christmas song. And I didn't want this to just be a Christmas journal. So that's why I did this fan fold here on it and inked it, is to kind of hide the fact that that is a Christmas song. And then I made this little card for you, and have to look. So this little guy was at the foot of her. So I cut the little guy and set it up for a pocket, and then kind of fussy cut up around to create that, and then made just a little place for you to journal on is up inside there. And so trimmed it off with some washi, and there is your journaling card. Next one, and this is a pocket that is a full page pocket. And so I did the washi, there's a music washi and some antique lace on this side, and then on this side of the book page I stenciled here and here, stenciled her, did a fan fold with Julie's Digital that was the music page, and I made those little rosettes here. And then the fan, I had a hanky that had this beautiful, beautiful tatted lace, and then just folded up this piece of paper that goes in there for you to do some journaling on. And then more of those pages and I put that in each one of the signatures so that you'd have journaling spots. And then this book page here is my educational page, and these birds are Julie's, and I have this antique lace here. And then on the other side I made a pocket and just have this beautiful piece of paper, and I put the old school paper on the back of it and folded it up all wonky and used my washi to edge that. And then this is Julie's digital, and I trimmed that with some lace and made it a little pocket on top of a pocket. So that's a pocket. They like it when I say pocket because I don't say it very well. So this one is my map, and I found that I had an envelope, and that envelope on the inside was a map. So I reversed that envelope and I made the little vellum pocket here. I cut that little slot there so that I could put the little postcard in the pocket on the outside, but then when you flip it open, you've got that journaling spot, so I wrote it on here, just a note. And then over here, I had this ribbon that I thought really went good with the black and white, and then made just a little flip-up scraps. And when I say scraps, I grabbed those little scraps and just started layering them up. So they're little itty-bitty scraps that you can put, like it's a commonplace notebook where you put quotes that you really, really liked. Maybe it's something that Mama said that was her catchphrase, like, "Don't you dare come in here with those dirty shoes on," and things like that. You might want to say, yeah, Mama didn't like it when the back door slammed. And right, you had to go back and close it 10 times. And close it right 10 times or you were in trouble. Believe me, I know. I was in trouble a lot. And then this is taking a book page, and I wanted it to fit in here. The book page was too long, and I had already cut the top. And I wanted to cut it down, but I liked how gnarly that lace was here at the bottom. Oh, what to do, right? So I cut the top and took the top and put it on the back and have a little tuck spot there. So you got a journaling card. It's got a little tuck spot, and then I snipped the corners again. And so that's how I saved this edge of that lace that I liked so much, and it fits inside my pocket. There. Now, that's that one. Isn't this an incredible digital? I love this black and white. So she's got the music here, and this is what I made that fan out of. And then here we go with the next one. And like I said, on the back of those, I printed, just took a ledger page, not ledger, notebook page, and set it down on my copy machine and copied that on there. And then this, I put some washi to reinforce that. It seemed like it might be a little bit brittle, so I reinforced it. And this is, I have a wonderful napkin. I'll show it to you when I get further in here, how beautiful this napkin is. But this is the second page. I call this the ghost page. The napkin is 3-ply. So when you take the plies off and you have a page like this, I just use that Heat and Bond light and put it over the page, and that strengthened this old page. And now you've got a journaling spot here too. We were to emboss, so I embossed here and I embossed it on some white, and so went and I guess they both were white, I don't know. Nope, I did some on white, and then I did this one and went back over with black soot. And then this is the tag I made with an envelope. And the way I did this one is it opens up here, and you've got a little spot here, and then this is also the tag. And I have an old 1890s scrapbook, and in it have a lot of these type of things in it, and so I photocopied the poems and stuff, and so you'll see those throughout where I have them, and just thought that it really lent itself well to this digital. Are you getting tired of? We're almost through, halfway. And some more of the ribbon. And then here, because when I photocopied it, I had this, and so I didn't want to throw it away, so I just glued it down on there. So you have some more journaling spot. And then here I have a bunch of these in a book, and so I fussy cut out these areas here and put the acetate behind it. And so I have this is Julie's digital that I have a for journaling card, and made that where it fits just right down in there. And then this is another one of the poems that was in that scrapbook. And some more of the napkin, the second ply. And I reinforced the seam with some washi. You don't want it falling apart. No, you writing your beautiful family stories in here. That's the end of that signature and the beginning of this one. See those digitals? Ooh-ah. And then this is my flip-flop with a flap. And this is where I told you I printed that digital on that parchment paper, onion skin paper. Look how beautiful that looks. It just, I think it's pretty awesome. And so I used a stamp and did that on the parchment. But I also, when you flip that open, there's a little pocket here with a card in it. And then this, it's supposed to be a flip-flop with a flap. But if you've watched my videos, you know I'm not any good at it. But I do try. And some more of the little rub-ons. And then this page, I've got made a little belly band here, and then made this layered. So I've got this and digital and the card here. This is Julie's digital up here in the corner so that it stays as, I wanted it to where it would, when it slides in the belly band. It's so hard to do these things upside down. When it slides in the belly band, I made it to where I just glued part of this down so that it would overlap there. And there's just a note. But this just a note is a rubber stamp. All right. Some more of those rub-on stencils to just enhance the page. And then this is, like I said, I have several of these, and so I put this one here and then did the rub-on stencils on the edge and on the back of the page. And then this is there because I smudged with my ink and had to cover it up. And then I thought, well, I'm going to put it throughout because it looks good. So there's that. And some more rub-on. And this is the wax paper on the page. And then what I did here is, this is a flip up, flip down journaling spot with a pocket. And so I'm going to show you the pocket first. I've been watching Casey Street. And I don't know if you guys have seen him before, but he'd been experimenting with a lot of his waxes and inks and stuff. And I wax on my table. and it is a Formica top. And so then I spritzed it with water, and I just put my cardstock down and left it overnight. And it picked up all of the ink that I had on my table. And so then I cut the edge to make it look like it had a tab. And then this, I put the beads on the little safety pin, but one side of the beads is on the safety pin and the other is, I sewed them on the safety pin, so I had them on both sides, and then I had a scrap of this material. And then this is heat embossed with the black enamel or embossing powder, and then I went and watercolored inside it to give it a stained glass effect to it on an old book page. So that is a journaling card if you want to try and journal on it. I think that a fountain pen would just write on here really, really cool. But I didn't want to do it since it's not going to be mine. It's going to be whoever buys it. And so I enameled that with the clear enamel. I keep calling it enamel. It's embossing powder. So, and then I had antique stamp that I put here, and then this flips up, and this flips down for you to have journaling space. All right, so you saw how that worked, and so I can do it again, right? There you go. And now she wanted us to do an oval. So what I did, this is a piece of corrugated cardboard, and I went around the edge with yeah, it was gesso. I was going to say white paint, but no, I used the gesso. And then this is her digital. And when you get things wet, it changes colors, which is what I wanted. It was not an accident. I did that on purpose. And then this is from my little notebook, the poem. Made that into a tiny little pocket to put this cigarette card in. And then made this a place where you can journal here or here. And put then the lace down on here. So that's what I did with the oval. And then on the other side, this is that napkin. The napkin that I have been so impressed with the second side. This is what it is, the first side. And so I did that to reinforce this paper. But then what am I going to do with the page? Well, I made this pocket, and I put 2 pieces of lace underneath her. And then I took, on the book page, I take the masking tape and pull the words off the book page. And then after I took the words off the book page, I put that second layer of napkin on there. And you can write on here just fine. I've done that with my pens, and it looks really good. And inked to where it's grungy. And then I got this music paper to where you can write on here too. So that's got the old book page, napkin, the digital music page. All of that for a journaling card. And then some more of the beautiful old dictionary page and the word old. And I had this in some of my papers that I thought would really, really look nice here. This is, again, where I put some rub on. And this, I wanted to reinforce the page without continuing to use washi. So my daughter had got me advertisement book that had a lot of advertisement pieces. And so this was one of those pieces. And so I just put that in there. And you can use that to tuck something in. And that reinforced it without having to use the washi. And I love washi. I'm not complaining about washi. I just wanted to do a variety of things in here. Then this is her wallet page. And so what I did was I put that in there and did them as a tip in. so that you could write on the back of them. But that was to extend out this page that went in there. And then here I added some butterflies that I have a little punch. And so I punched out and put some lace under them. And then this was another part of that page that I was talking about. I took and just glued it on the edge here on both sides to reinforce it so that it had that strength. And then after I glued it, I went ahead and made it into little pockets so that you could tuck something in, and then that reinforces it to where it won't rip open on you. And then this was digital that I had, not digital, scrapbook paper that I had, that I reinforced this with. And then here, this is another one of those out of that book that my daughter got me for my Christmas present. And then here is, I made this out of a little time card that fits right in there. And some more vellum. And this I did on a little video that is an envelope. I got so excited about the, oh, come on, there we go. And about Julie's black and white. I thought, oh, I love that because it's black and white envelope in there. And so, and then this is the journaling card that I made because sunflowers are also in that digital. And then we were to make a paper clip. So there's my paper clip using an advertisement from 1928. I backed this with onion skin paper using that Wonder Under, or not Wonder Under, Heat and Bond Light. And then this is out of a old magazine, and so I have a little pocket up here at the top, and it has a little envelope that I made for you to use for journaling. And then it has a side pocket here that I have this card in, the music paper for you to journal on. And then I did this little side band, slotted band here, whatever you want to call that band. And then I have these, this is the embossed again, where one was an element on a page, and then this is, well, one is an element and one's ephemera. And then I had this little tag that I put in here because it just went really good with the black and white. And we're coming to the end, folks. Aren't you glad you hung in there to say goodbye? So, more flipping out for you to write. And then there is the end with that beautiful paper. So, this is available right now. I have somebody who might be a little bit interested, but if not, if you don't see the word sold, you'll know you've got an opportunity to get a hold of me and have a really, really nice journal that you'll be able to put your legacy story in for your loved ones, to be able to see what life was like back when you were young, okay? Because we're younger than we will be tomorrow. Have a good day and a marvelous Thanksgiving. Bye, everyone.